Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. On today's video I'm going to be talking about this corset, and it's going to be our first style explanation. So I decided to make videos for style explanation where I will explain certain dresses and how you can achieve them without much pattern involved. Okay, so this was my old pattern paper. Can you see? This was the old one I used for the previous video. That's the corset dress. I'll put the link on the description below. So, and I'm going to use this newspaper to work on this new dress. So for the dress, it's the same method. Everything about the dress is the same. The back, the upper part, the yoke, the neckline, the corset cup, everything about it is the same. But the only difference is the bottom part, which is the hip area. Instead of the Basque waistline, it's not that way. Okay, so for the front you have the same front neckline, the same back cup, and every other thing the same yoke. Okay, so you just cut it with your lace. You can use the previous video to draft the pattern. So in order for you to achieve this particular pattern, I'm going to now cut out the basque area from this corset. Then when I'm done cutting out the basque area, I'm going to put it now on my new paper. So what I am trying to explain is, if you are making a dress for yourself or your client and the style is basically the same, the only difference is just the bottom part, that's the corset area, the basque waistline, or you can as well use the same corset pattern for the dress. You're just going to make adjustments to the bottom part. Okay, so that's it. Can you see the style? So that's the bottom part, and you are going to take your ruler and mark your hip measurement, then trace out the other part of the corset. So I'm just going to trace it out. After I'm done tracing it out, I'm going to cut it out. So cut yours out same way as I'm cutting mine. After cutting it, take out the pin and remove the previous pattern. So you are done with that pattern and you've used it to get your new pattern for this style. So this is it basically. You can use this now to make a different style, not this particular style. You can use it the way it is now to just do a corset dress or a top for your skirt. Okay, so I'm going to be working on it. You can drape on it. Okay, so when you are done making the top, you can wear your skirt and do the draping, and you just trace it out by cutting out the style. But that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to explain it with the pattern paper on and how you can attach it to the bottom part of your dress. Can you see it? So this is it basically. If you want to do the draping, your client or yourself will wear it and you drape it on them. So you are going to take your ruler now and you are going to now mark it out. On this area, you could see that the one side of it came up while the other side came down all the way and landed on the top part of your hip area. So what I did earlier was I just went ahead and marked it, and I realized that it actually came up a bit, so it was not that low. So you are going to now take your tape and mark it. So you ask your client, or if it's for yourself, determine how you want it to be. So you can take your tape from your waist, you just come down by like 2 inches or 1 inches. Okay, so you just mark that part. After you've marked it, you are now going to connect it with your curve ruler all the way down to the edge of the other part. Okay, so if you are using your full hip measurement, you are going to now take it up a bit to the top part of your hip. Okay, where your bum is, the upper part. So you're just going to rest on that area. It's not going to come down to your hip. Okay, so instead of using 9 inches, you can just use 5 or 6 inches, so it will just stop there. So after I'm done marking it now, can you see it? So that's how it's going to be. This is how it's now going to be. So you will just try to adjust it when you cut it out. Before cutting it out, sorry, make sure you adjust it to find out if it's okay and if it's not. So I went ahead and I cut it out. Because it's a style explanation, I will not be making a dress with it. I just wanted to explain it to you. So can you see it? So on one side is higher, while the other side is a bit low. So you can just curve that area, let it not be pointed, and just work on it. Or you can reduce that part that went higher a bit. You can just reduce it by half an inch so that it will not be too high. So you take your skirt and you are going to now stitch it the way I'm using this fabric to do the illustration. So that is how you are now going to stitch it. So I'm just going to cut it out, the excess, and just explain what I'm talking about. After cutting it out, you pin it to the bottom part of your skirt. Then you are now going to trace it. You are going to now cut it on the bottom part of your skirt. So if you cut it out, it's going to be well placed, just like the way we cut the Basque waistline. So that's the same method you are going to do for it. So this is it, but because it's not the bottom part of my skirt and all, this is how it looks. So when you place it, you cut it and it's going to now give it the shape. So I just placed it on my mannequin and I realized that my mannequin is way smaller than the pattern. So I'm just trying to just explain it. So this is how it's going to be if you place it with your skirt. So you just use your skirt and use it to cut it out, and it's the same method I used for the basque cutting when I was cutting the back. That is how you are going to do. You place it on your waist and you are now going to trace it out, trace the length, and you cut it. Then when you are done cutting it, just go ahead and stitch it up. You are going to now get the style. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining the first part of my style explanation. So we'll be doing this once in a while. I'll just bring out a style and we're going to just talk about it, and I'm going to just explain how to achieve the style. No pattern, or they may be pattern. Okay, so I might draft or I might not draft pattern. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you and have a nice day. To our subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye, guys.